Do want to begin our show talking with the one and only Maranda. She has a lot planned, not just for How's It Really Going, but for World Mental Health Day that is set to happen this Friday. A whole special is planned, and with lots of fun things to do and check out in honor of World Mental Health Day. Well, Maranda was kind enough to stop by earlier this week and talk all about it. Maranda, it is so good to see you again. Thank you so much for stopping by the show once again today. And of course, as we count down the final last couple of days before World Mental Health Day this Friday.
It's so good to be here, and it's so good to talk about a really important topic.
Absolutely.
As you know, October 10th, World Mental Health Day. A lot of folks are going to be starting conversations regarding mental health. And as you know, at Wood TV here, we have been committed to this conversation for a very long time, because what we know is 1 in 5 adolescents, ages 12 to 17, struggle with mental health issues, and it's probably more than that. And when our kids are struggling, the whole family struggles, and oftentimes that adds layers of stress on parents. So we really do need to keep those conversations going and really check in with our families regularly.
Absolutely. And you know, the best way to do that, and we've mentioned it a couple of times in the past, obviously, is heading on over to our website and checking out the How's It Really Going page. I want to pull that up real quick for everybody to see. And you can just tell, just from looking at it, not only do we have lots of engaging conversations, we just did one with Wedgwood, but you can see there's also so many different topics that people can find that research on. And again, you guys you guys put so much work into making these possible. Even just like the past couple of weeks, even, you guys have been speaking to your partners and putting together some really important information for anybody that's interested in really starting that first conversation, asking, how's it really going?
Absolutely. You can find How's It Really Going at woodtv.com/mental health. And we recently went to the Frederick Meyer Gardens, one of my favorite tranquil Zen places. And we went there and brought in some of the key leaders on working with kids in mental health. And we asked them a variety of questions, everything from what's your mantra that gets you going, to what are some of the things that are normal for kids of all ages, and then what's that point where we've got to say, hey, maybe we need some extra help, and then where do you go for extra help? The other thing we did is, I love this one, and I'm going to ask you too, Phil. What do you do for self-care? Because I think it's easy to have that word in our language, but what do we really do? How do we act upon it? So one of the partners from Pine Rest, he plays the ukulele to relax, and he actually brought the ukulele and played. We've got friends from Wedgwood who she journals. Someone from Answer Health just breathes. Really loved this one. Melissa from Meyer, she's a senior communications person, and she goes home and puts her slippers on. And when she puts her slippers on, she's moving from work to family. And it's like a big, deep breath. My friend from Bigby, Tim comments on, for him, it's about getting a Bigby coffee and going for a walk, and he does it every single day, getting out in nature regardless of the weather. So my question for you, what do you do, Phil?
Well, and it's funny you ask this, and I truly do mean this, because just from our talks about How's It Really Going, it has made me kind of look inward at myself and just think, what am I struggling with? How am I actually doing? And, I think that is such a great thing about this platform. I have actually been able to kind of take from these conversations and try out a bunch of different things. And I encourage a lot of different people to do the same thing. Maybe you hear that going for a walk is really relaxing, especially as the sun is sort of setting and the weather's still nice out. And maybe you go on a couple of walks and maybe, it does feel better, but you're not really getting that relief that you need. Highly encourage you to try something else. Even just putting on your slippers, getting in that different state of mind is great. I have found that, just setting aside some time to read a book. I've never been truly a big reader, but you pick out a book that maybe looks interesting. You read 5-10 pages a night, just that little bit of a break from all the social media, the television shows, the screens in general. Just being able to relax and kind of just take a deep breath. And even if it's, even if you only get to 5 pages, that little bit just does really make a huge difference. So.
Absolutely. And I'm so proud of you, Phil, because our industry, our business, 24/7, we're working all the time. I'm always on my phone checking because I don't want to miss something.
Right.
But the reality is, it's okay. Put that phone down, take a big deep breath, and try anything, something. Have a cup of tea, look out the window, read, reflect, stretch. Anything that you're doing that just lowers your blood pressure and reminds you that you do have control of how you feel and what you think. I think that's so important.
Absolutely. And even just, I'd love to hear more about this, because you have been doing this for, almost I believe, well over 2 years now with How's It Really Going, and just being able to
I thought you were going to talk about my career.
Oh, no,
Phil,
no, no,
'cause
no.
that's been a long time.
Right. But just like with How's It Really Going and really being a focal point and just spending a lot of time speaking to these individuals, our partners that are putting out really great information for everybody. I mean, what have you really picked up, or what has been the biggest thing that you've been able to pick up on over these years with How's It Really Going that you've kind of implemented in your day-to-day life?
Well, I think it's really the title, because I spend a lot of time being like, hey, how you doing? What's going on? That kind of surface feel.
Right.
How often do we actually truly look someone in the eye and say, how's it really going? And then give them the time to listen, to be present. I feel like that's one of those gifts that we often overlook. Another little tip, I have really found that when you are feeling super stressed, look for ways that you can bless. So if you're all in your head and you are worried about everything going on, pause and look for people who need your help. Maybe they need a smile. Maybe you're going to do something kind for someone at the grocery store. Maybe you're going to call someone that you've kind of had a little riff with. Look for ways that you can reach out and bless somebody with your words, with your actions, and do something for someone else, and you'll be amazed at how that impacts how you feel about yourself.
I love all of that. Well, Maranda, again, World Mental Health Day happening this Friday, all kind of culminating with a special happening Friday as well. We would love to hear just a little bit more about that, as again, we're counting down those last couple of days before it.
So we'll have a very special Where You Live segment that airs at 11:50 on Wood TV, and then again at about 3:50 on WOTV. And you can always find that on our website as well. But a whole focus on what you can do to celebrate and what you can do for your family on Friday as well as throughout the rest of the year. In addition to that, our friends at Frederick Meyer Gardens are offering 50% off admission to anyone in Kent County on Friday only. That means from open to close. So you can go in and spend the entire day just being in the Meyer Gardens. And if you've not been in a while, it's beautiful for fall, but it's such a peaceful place for all ages, for young, for old, for all in between, just to come out and breathe a little bit, spend some time in nature, and enjoy beautiful things. That's what the Meyer Gardens is doing.
Absolutely. And yeah, Meyer Gardens, like you said, perfect to kind of just relax, get those walks and get those steps in. And we actually had Steve LeWare from Meyer Gardens on last week to talk about Mums at Meyer Gardens. It's happening all month long.
Beautiful.
So again, even more reasons to go ahead and check it out this Friday for World Mental Health Day. We're so looking forward to that special. Miranda, thank you so much for all that you do with How's It Really Going. We look forward to talking to you again soon.
Thanks, Phil.
And great stuff from Maranda as always. Again, World Mental Health Day is happening this Friday. We're going to be having a special and plenty of coverage of just how to begin that conversation. And again, also ask, how's it really going? Your chance to do that is again on Friday. But you can always check out everything from the How's It Really Going page right now over on our website, woodtv.com.